Will your support for Donald Trump continue even if he's convicted in Manhattan?
Yeah, this trial is not going to have major political ramifications that a lot of people, I think it may have. When it comes to these issues, people see it more as reality TV at this point. They really do. And so, whether it's a conviction or what that conviction looks like, a lot of folks, they conflate all four of these different trials that he's in. I don't think it's good that he's going to be in the court, have to be in there probably 3 days a week, for a number of weeks. That takes him off the campaign trail. He'll probably go back on the campaign trail and almost like rehash what's going on. He'll try to victimize it, and that has worked for him, right? I mean, this has been going on for over a year, and his poll numbers never seem to go down because of the issue.
Well, yeah, you're going to politics, though. I'm asking you about right and wrong. You think you're comfortable with the idea of supporting someone who's convicted of a federal crime as president?
No. I don't think any American is comfortable with any of this. They don't like any of this, of course. But, I mean, when it comes to actually looking at each of these trials, as they kind of take place, whether it's this year or next year, or as they kind of line up, right now this is about an election. Right, this is about politics. That's what people are judging this on, and the ultimate, decision will be in November. Yeah.
You're a governor. You're an elected official. I'm asking whether you're going to be swayed by it.
Yeah, look, nobody should be shocked that the Republican governor is supporting the Republican president.
But wait a second right there. Your words were very, very clear on January 11th, 2021. You said that President Trump's rhetoric and actions contributed to the insurrection. No other president in American history has contributed to an insurrection. So please explain, given the fact that you believe he contributed to an insurrection, how you can say we should have him back in the Oval Office.
It's not, because for me, it's not about him as much as it is having a Republican administration, Republican secretaries, Republican rules, a sense where states' rights comes first, individual rights comes first, parents' rights comes first. We're going to have a pro-business economy. We're not going to have a cancel culture that has really infiltrated all across America. It's not about Trump with me. It's about bringing those more.
But he will be the president.
Right? I'm the governor of the live free or die state, bringing that mentality back.
That doesn't make any sense to me, Governor. I'm sorry. You're saying it's not about Trump. You're saying he would be the president. And you've said he's someone who's contributed to an insurrection.
I understand it doesn't make sense to you, George, but look at the polls. What you're telling me is you don't understand why 51% of this country is supporting Donald Trump. They're not crazy. They're not MAGA conservatives. They're not extremists. They want culture change. So,
Governor, I'm not talking.
The bigger issue is.
I'm not talking about polls. I'm asking you a very simple question. You believe Donald Trump contributed to an insurrection. That's correct, right?
I stand by the statement.
You stand by the statement that he contributed to an insurrection. You believe that a president who contributed to an insurrection should be president again?
As does 51% of America, George.
So just to sum up, you would support him for president even if he's convicted in classified documents. You support him for president even though you believe he contributed to an insurrection. You support him for president even though you believe he's lying about the last election. You'd support him for president even if he's convicted in the Manhattan case. I just want to say the answer to that is yes, correct?
Yeah, me and 51% of America.
That guy is the Republican governor of New Hampshire, Chris Sununu, someone who enjoys his branding as a moderate, claiming on national television that he's fine with an insurrectionist becoming president if it means Republicans get to take power. The fact that that guy is considered a moderate should tell you everything you need to know about just how extreme the GOP has become. Now, right off the bat, notice how he couches his answer in this idea that he's okay supporting Trump because 51% of Americans support him. Now, 3 things here. First off, no, 51% of Americans do not support Trump. In fact, Trump has never enjoyed the support of 51% of Americans. In the 2020 election, he didn't even get 47% support. It was Biden who broke 51% support. Someone should let Chris Sununu know that trying to will new math into existence doesn't actually accomplish much. Second of all, couching your support in how many other people support him betrays the fact that Sununu is embarrassed about what he's doing, but knows that so long as he feels protected by the masses around him, that he's got cover. Think about what a child would say if his parents caught him throwing rocks at cars. Everyone was doing it. To which the parents would reply, if everyone was walking off a bridge, would you do that too? In other words, the only defense that this grown-ass man can offer is to desperately point to the other people who are also selling out their country, as if that makes it any better. Just because there are a lot of assholes doesn't make him any less of an asshole. And lastly on this point, just because other people support something doesn't make it right, even if there are a majority of people. There were majorities of Americans living in slave states who supported slavery. Did that make it right? A majority of Americans supported Jim Crow. Did that make it right? A majority of Americans opposed gay marriage at one point. Did that make it right? You can always find people who will espouse support for dismal positions that isn't reason to support them. And using that as your rationale to support them shows that you're not relying on morality. You're just looking for cover by surrounding yourself with enough immoral people. Notice too how Sununu says all of this while downplaying Trump's impending criminal prosecutions, claiming that it's not really a big deal because everyone just views this all as reality TV at this point. In other words, it's no big deal that his party's presidential nominee is poised to be a convicted felon, or is contending with 91 criminal charges, or will stand trial in 4 different jurisdictions. Why? Because Trump's acolytes don't care, and so they're trying to convince America not to care either. Suddenly, the Law and Order Party isn't just forgiving of felonies, but looking to elevate a potential convicted felon to the highest office in the land. It's almost like, and I hope you're sitting down for this, it was never about law and order, and always about consolidating power for themselves. Sununu even tries to hedge here by saying that it's not really about Trump, it's just about getting Republicans in control, even though the Republican that he wants in control is Trump. Trump isn't some nebulous politician with an R next to his name. You're not just signing up for basic Republican governance, you are voting for the insurrectionist. You're voting for the dictator for a day, his words.
We love this guy. He says, "You're not going to be a dictator, are you?" I said, no, other than day one.
You're voting for terminating the Constitution, also his words. You don't get to divorce Donald Trump from your vote for Donald Trump, no matter how shitty it makes you look. The simple truth is that this is a prime example of party over country. Chris Sununu knows better. He was an outspoken critic of Trump during the Republican primary.
Look, Donald Trump is not going to be the nominee, right? We're just moving on as a party, as a country. He's not going to be the nominee. That's just not going to happen. Here's the good news. I'm going to give you the good news. Ready? I love you. I'm a big fan.
Thank you.
But you're dead wrong. He's not going to be the nominee. We want a winner, right? Republicans want someone who can win in November of 24. Donald Trump is a loser.
He himself has made the case against Donald Trump better than just about anyone. And yet the fact that he could blindly fall in line and defend somebody who he himself conceded incited an insurrection against our own government, all because he wants his party to take power, should tell you everything you need to know about his devotion to the ideals of this country. This dude is the textbook definition of a partisan hack. So look, I could sit here all day and tear Chris Sununu apart, but frankly, no one can make the guy look worse than he himself did on his own. This is what today's Republican Party is. It is a cult of personality that has sold every shred of integrity and dignity, all in blind deference to a lawless con man whose crimes against his own country are second to none. He's trying to make the case that Americans are flocking to Trump, but to be honest, nothing will push people further away from Donald Trump than listening to these craven hacks expose who they really are. Before you go, I need some help. Please subscribe to the channel and do your part to help grow the progressive media ecosystem. I don't do sponsorships or paid ads, I won't ask for money, but just subscribing to this channel goes a really long way, and it helps get the message out to more people. The subscribe button is right here on the screen. You can also subscribe to my Spanish language channel, which I made to reach those crucial Spanish-speaking voters. That link is on the screen too. And finally, if you want to listen to my audio podcast, you can follow that link as well. Thanks so much for watching.